Hey guys, this is Victoria, back to you with another review of Married at First Sight, Season 13, Episode 7, called Home Not Alone. So we start off with everyone heading back to Houston. Bao is snoring her ass off on the airplane. Johnny recorded her, so we got to finally see what Johnny was talking about with her snoring. Yeah, it's kind of loud. It's kind of loud, but she can't control it. So, like I already told you how I feel about it. They finally get back to Houston. They get off the plane. Ryan is talking about he's happy that he had less bruising this second flight than he did the first flight. And of course, Brett's just gonna just laugh it off, but I'm just like, you should have just recorded how she was on the flight home like Johnny did. So, and then be like, okay, Brett was like 10 times worse like this on the first flight. So at least we could kind of see what you're talking about. So we still don't know what you're talking about, Ryan, because for all we know, you could be lying. But I don't think you're lying. But I feel like you might be exaggerating a little bit because you're still talking about it. So I don't know. I don't. But they get back, so it don't even matter no more. So we get to everybody's apartment. Well, the apartment they're going to share together. And it's nice. It's always nice from the past couple of seasons that they've been doing this. And while they're going through the apartment, Rachel's saying, "Oh, it's nice dishwasher and stuff," but she knows Jose doesn't believe in dishwashers, and I'm with Jose on this. If What's the point of using a dishwasher when I could just wash it myself? I feel like the only time I would ever use a dishwasher is if it was like a family or a big party and stuff, and there's so much dishes, and I'm not gonna wash them all. So then I'll put it in a dishwasher. But then again, knowing myself, I probably would just wash the dishes. And I would use the tinfoil that I could just throw away afterwards, like not my actual pots and pans. So I'm with Jose on this one. I could just wash it myself. To put one or two dishes in a dishwasher is pointless and lazy to me. So, but her mom and best friend done said that she's a little messy and stuff. So that's not really to be unexpected with her. So we move on to Mirla and Jill getting to their apartment. Mirla loves it, and Jill said he could do with much less. Okay, all right. Listen, Gil, I get it. She's Jaime and she does this and that, but at the same time, Gil, don't be like Mirla when y'all was at the honeymoon. Just be like, it's a nice apartment. That's it. Like I feel like he's like purposely trying to make her be more dramatic and extra as she is. I mean, we're gonna see next week. He's gonna start getting very annoyed, but we're annoyed with her too. She's already annoyed enough as it is. We don't need you amping up the annoyingness of Mirla more than she already is. She liked the place, and it seemed like for once we're not gonna get no uh annoyingness and nitpicking from her because this apartment is up to her standards. Do not try to get her because you talking about, oh, you could deal with less. Okay, sure, fine. Okay, that's good. That's good for you. Good for you, Joe. But let's also appreciate the fact that they gave you guys a nicer apartment than they did with the honeymoon suite, so you don't have to hear Milla's mouth as much. And we're happy as America that we don't have to hear Milla's mouth as much. Okay, please. Even when they was going through the apartment, Miller made mention of like, oh, this is a small bed. Is this a queen? And that's just, Miller, you already like, please, don't, please. I know Gil probably already trying to get you to complain, but we don't need all that. We don't. We get to Brad and Ryan. They're talking. I don't, at this point, I don't know whose house they are there. I don't know. But she's talking about she's nervous about living with Ryan because she has to change her nightly routine. She can't just go to the gym at 10 or something or just talk to her friends on the phone. Now she has someone else to think about living with her and whatnot. And I'm just like, isn't not that the point? Is that the reason? Is that not the reason you got married at first sight? Because of the fact that you were so lonely and stuff? Like, are these people already forgetting day 7 or 8 day in of the reason they came on married at first sight in the first place? Because you lonely. A lot of these couples still thinking single-minded and not coupled or married-minded. I understand you don't think like that, but at the same time, the purpose of you getting on Married at First Sight is because you want to share a life with someone, you want to share a home with someone. So did you not think that it was going to change a little bit once you did share? Because they have their own mind too. They have their own personality and routine too, not just you. And I already said this a few episodes ago, but I don't understand why it's not registering in their minds. And if they, especially if these people said they done watch Married at First Sight before, so they know how it goes. Why are you acting brand new to this situation and experiment just because you're the one that's in it? This ain't nothing new. Please, people, come on. We move on to Bao and Johnny. They get to their apartment. Uh, I'm surprised that Bao was acting like this because I would expect Michaela to act like this, but Bao's the one that was nitpicking, saying she doesn't like this and she doesn't like electric stoves and looking through the cabinets, and she just seemed so unimpressed. And I'm just like, what is this about? Even when they get to the bed, Bao's like, oh, there's enough pillows for Johnny for the in the bed, and I'm just like, okay, Bao, now you're starting to annoy me with this. Keep making this pillow joke with Johnny, and you was the one insecure about your snoring. I was with you, Bao, on the whole snoring situation that he need to, just cut it out. But now that you keep like every night you keep making these pillow jokes with Johnny because he said he likes to sleep with a pillow at night. Okay, everybody was making fun of you for saying it's weird that you walk around the house not naked, but walk around the house with a bathing suit on. And I was the one saying I don't see nothing wrong with that. Okay, now you're going to keep making these pillow jokes? No, you contradicting yourself here, Val. Because I'm like, you insecure about your snoring, but you keep talking to Johnny about these damn pillows. And frankly, I'm tired of these damn pillows being in between y'all two. Because they still put the pillows in between them that the first night. Not even the first. No, they laid down on the bed and then they went to eat. So he didn't even sleep there that night. But she even put the pillow in between them at that point. But they did go back to the living room, dining room, whatever, to eat. And Johnny's just like, yeah, he's not going to sleep in the bed. Well, he's not even going to sleep in the apartment for the next few nights because he has to go home and reset. Bao's concerned because she's just like, that's not what she's expecting. And she doesn't want him to just like up and leave when their first night getting back to Houston and getting to the apartment. But Johnny just says he needs to reset his mind because of what's been going on the past 7 days. It's just he's not with it with all the arguments and stuff that they're having, so he just needs a few days to just clear his head. And Bao just, what does she say? She doesn't, she's not gonna stop him from going away, but she does feel like it's concerning that he's already needing some space and they've only been together for like 7 days. So we move on to Zach. He's finally on his way home. And he didn't mention that if he was COVID free or not in this scene. So in the beginning, I'm just like, it's only been 5 days, and you're already talking about you going back to Houston to see Michaela. But then I guess later on he does say that he is negative, but he didn't tell Michaela that he's negative. He told her he's still positive, so she wouldn't expect him coming to see her. Okay, cool, whatever. We get to Johnny, and he's home. Bao's at the apartment, and he's just like, everyone says marriage is not easy, but I guess he's seeing that it's really not easy, especially in the first 7 days. It's only been a week, but he's seeing that it's not easy. And I'm just like, well, obviously you're on Married at First Sight, so it's different than the regular folks. So the regular folks done said it's not easy. Why would you not think it's not easy? And you saying it's the first 7 days, but like once again, this is Married at First Sight. Things move very fast than regular dating and marriage. So if they don't think it's easy doing it about it the regular way, what? Okay. I just felt like once again producer just had him come on the camera so we could see that like Zach, he's still alive and he didn't just dip out on the whole show. Okay, cool, whatever. We get to where the couples are going to see each other's places. Ryan goes see Brett's place. He likes it. Everything seems to be going well. And then we get to Rachel going to see Jose's house. He has a lot of crosses. He has a big house, talking about, oh, this is where I put my tree for Christmas time. It's like a 12-foot tree. And it's a big house. It seems to be going smoothly. I'm like, dang, that's a lot of crosses in your house. But okay, cool. That's how you like to set up your house. she seems kind of like intimidated a little bit, but she seems okay until we get to the whiteboard with all his finances. And that's when I feel like Rachel got kind of a little intimidated. And even I was laughing because I'm looking at the board, I'm inspecting this board, and I just get to the bottom right hand corner where his credit score is in red at 815. So I said it was either 815 or 850 that he said. So it was 815 and it is in red. And I'm pretty sure it's in red because it's not perfect. So I'm sure once it gets perfect, he's going to put the credit score in green. And I'm just like, yeah, this guy is very structured. I mean, we believed it. We've seen it in the previous episodes, but I'm just like, I didn't really inspect his board because I really didn't care at the time. But now seeing how structured and like down to the T Jose is and seeing the credit score, I'm just like, I bet you every time his credit score goes up 1 point or down 1 point, he's putting that on the board. So I thought it was funny, but Rachel looked terrified, and I'm just like, that's your man. That's your man. We move on to Mirla, and actually we move on to Gil going to Mirla's house, and she too has a lot of crosses in her house. This is why I said Mirla and Jose need to be together, kind of low key. And we get to her room. It's nice. She got a big bed in there. We get to her bathroom, and she has a lot of pictures of herself in different poses and bathing suits. And Gil was like, what is this? So she took a picture of every time she went on vacation or went on an extravagant trip or whatnot. So that's her memory. And Gil and me are kind of looking like, okay, sure. I mean, that's her bathroom, so she could do whatever she wants with it. But I'm just looking at the picture. So like, when you sit on the toilet taking a shit, you do you like look at yourself? Like, do you look at these pictures and be like, oh, my time in Europe was so great. Like, you know what? Um, Everybody has their quirks. I don't know how I feel about it, but okay. We move on to her closet, and it's jam packed with clothes, and you see all the name brands and stuff. And I just feel like in my head, I'm just like, okay, the people that like to shop all the time, every month, and spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on these clothes, like, you just keep all these clothes there because if you keep shopping, what are the old clothes there for? Because I'm pretty sure there's plenty of clothes in her closet that probably still has the price tag on them, and that she's never worn, that she probably never will wear, to be honest. And that's what my question is with people who love to shop. Like Brianna from last season, she always spends $400 a month on shopping. It's like for clothes. Like clothes, like not even stuff for the house, but clothes. So I'm like, do you guys go out that much? That you need to spend all this money on clothes? Do you not wear the same clothes twice? If that's the case, why do you have all these clothes in your closet? I don't know. That's if she got the funds for it, I guess. But at the same time, your closet is already packed. Like, how much more clothes do you need? Can you recycle them? She could have a pop up shop at this point with all the clothes she has in her closet, all the shoes, bags, stuff like that. Oh, okay, whatever. We get to Brett going to Ryan's place. Brett has her dog with her. Ryan has his dog. They meet. They seem to be acquainting a little bit, but then I guess they end up barking at each other. So Brett puts her dog in the car. Like, you can wait here while I go look in Ryan's house. She goes in Ryan's house. It looks like it's going well. She likes it's nice and big and cozy and whatnot. So they get upstairs and she sees the deer on the wall. And I think it was in his bedroom, but the deer on the wall, she's just like, is that real? And he's just like, I'm not going to put something up that I didn't kill up there. So clearly he killed the deer and put it up on the wall. I don't, Brett is the type of person, she gets freaked out for a lot of things easily. I wouldn't have been freaked out that much, but she seemed cool with it as long as it's not in the room, like if they were to stay together and get a place. So he's like, oh, he could put it in the garage or whatever. And she was okay with that. All right, cool. We're compromising her. I can understand about the not in the bedroom type thing, but I wouldn't mind if it was in the living room type. So, but they compromise on that. Cool, whatever. Ryan's talking about she needs to chill because Brett's just freaking out, and her main concern, not even with the deer, but with their dogs, because she's just like, they don't seem to like each other, and I don't know how it's going to be at the house, and she's just really freaking out about it. And Ryan's just like, chill out, relax, it's not that serious. And I agree with Ryan. This is the first time the dogs are meeting. This is nighttime. They probably haven't seen Ryan and Brett for days. So, of course, they're just like, okay, they're antsy. They just want to hang out with their owner. So, of course, seeing another dog, they're like, okay, you leave me for 7 days and now I have to see this dog. Who's this? So, give it some time. This is the first time they're meeting. I know some dogs never do click, but I wouldn't just go based off the first initial meeting of the two dogs. Give it some time. It seems like once they move into the apartment, everything kind of goes well. So, Brett, relax. You have too much anxiety. You remind me of my manager at my job. You just seem like every little thing is just, oh my gosh, it's just I don't know how to feel about this, and like, relax, take a chill pill, Brett. You seem like a cool, down to earth type chick, but it seemed like with this whole experiment, we seen your anxiety, crazy little over the top side. Relax, chill, drink a glass of wine, let Ryan handle the cooking. You're gonna be fine. Yes, that's a random side note, but all right, Brett, chill out, please. Rachel goes sees, I mean, Jose goes sees Rachel place. I guess when you first walk in, she has water jugs on the floor in the corner. Jose is just like, oh, this all this clutter, and I'm just like, it's water jugs, bro. It's not like it's candy wrappers and snacks just all over the. It's water jugs on the floor in the corner. It looks like it was in the kitchen. A lot of people do that. You don't want to see my kitchen with my stacks of water cases on top of each other. That might be clutter to him too. Jose, you reaching a little bit. But they go around her house. He seems to like it a little bit, but said she's a little messy. She got a lot of stuff. She got all these pencils from all the places she's visited. Okay, she collects pencils. Would you rather her collect all this other random stuff? I didn't think that was a big deal. That doesn't take up that much space. Jose, you reaching. But other than that, he says it's not that big of a deal, but he seemed kind of like disgusted going around her house. Remember, the people are not conforming to you. And this is to the whole cast of Married at First Sight. The people are not conforming to you. It's you and them come together and compromise and make something of your own. Okay? Make, not metal, but intertwining each other's lives. Okay? Not them coming into your life, but you're also going into their life. Okay, we move on to Mirla. She goes to Gil's house and sees their dog, Hype. Immediately when she walks in, she's like, it smells like dog. Well, he has a dog. What do you expect the house to smell like, Mirla? Hello. Uh they we get to Hype. I get it. Mirla does not like dogs. I understand that. But to really come on. Dogs sense people's energies. And I felt so bad for Hype because Hype was so cute, even with the little fur that was a discolored fur from his regular like white fur. He had like a little chocolate spot right here. He looks so cute. I don't know if it's a boy or girl. I'm sorry, I don't know if it's a boy or girl. I'm gonna say he, because that's usually the general uh term they use. But she looks so cute and just looked like they just wanted a hug. And I just wanted to hug the dog so much. I wanted to hug Hype so much. I like dogs. But Marilyn just seems so disgusted. And Jill's like, give it a handshake, give it a handshake. And she just seems so like, ew, I don't want to give it a handshake. Gil goes to the dog and hugs and kisses the dog. And she's like, you kissed your dog? And he's like, not on the lips, but, of course I'm going to kiss it. I got to get the kiss from somewhere. And she's just looking at him like, mm. And that's why your lips ain't on me. Like, she didn't say it, but I feel like in her head she was like, and that's why you don't kiss on me, because I am not trying to deal with you kissing a dog and then trying to kiss me with all that bacteria that dog be having on his body and stuff. And Gil's like, he gets washed once a week, so he's fine and stuff. And Mirla just seemed like she is not with it at all. She seems so grossed out. And Gil goes into, like, I feel like Mirla is not interested in anything Gil has to say. He shows her a picture of his dad. And he's telling the whole story of how he had this person, that person, and his dad on the wall. Like, in his dad's house, that's how he had it set up. And he's like, these are the four most important people of the world. Or something to that effect. And he's talking about his dad and Mirla are just alike because They both had pictures of themselves on their walls at their house. And Mila was just like, okay, well, that means he was a good person or something to that effect. And I'm just, mm, I don't know. No, I see what you're trying. No, and Gil, I see what you're trying to, but no. What is this tit for tat thing? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is this their way of flirting? Because it's a no for me. It's not a cute flirting. What is this? I don't even know. But I feel like at this point, Jill trying to take shots, low key shots at Mirla. I don't know if Mirla's catching them or if she's just like playing along like she don't know what he's trying to do, but she knows what he's trying to do. I don't know. They just need to figure out what the hell they want to do. Because at this point, I'm annoyed with both of them. I'm annoyed with both of them. I'm still rooting more on Jill's side than Mirla's side because Mirla's just annoying. But at the same time, Jill, like, I'm gonna need you to just be like, come on, bro, like, what are we doing here? I mean, we're gonna get to it when they talk with Pastor Cal, but what are we doing here? What are we doing here? So Bao's talking in confessional saying she's emotionally more mature in the relationship than Johnny because she's sticking it out. Johnny done left because he needs to reset. But Johnny does come back to the apartment with Thai food, talking about, honey, I'm home. I brought food. And they sit down to eat. And he's saying that being away for a few days, I think it was only a day to be honest with you, but being away for a few days has helped him to reassess the situation and how he's reacted to what's been happening so far. And he realized he can let things go, like things are not as a big deal as he makes it seem. And so he's there to stick it out to make it work, and he thinks they can make it work. So she's happy with that. They end up going to bed, and there's no pillow in between them. And I think this is might be the first night there's no pillow in between them. They kiss. It looks like it's a good kiss, and that's where it ends. And I'm just like, okay, is this going to really work out? Because I feel like Johnny said, it's been a roller coaster, and I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel with any of these couples, to be honest with you. This season already. This is episode 7. I don't know. I don't know how this season's gonna go, but we get to Zach and Michaela. So he's negative. He goes to surprise Michaela. She opens the door. They're happy and excited. He hands her roses. Hands her roses. And, looks around her apartment a little bit. And he's just like, oh, snap, you got the picture. And it shows a picture of her and him already on her freaking table. And I'm just like, y'all been together 7 days, girl. You got a picture already of y'all? Framed up and stuff? I know it's her husband, technically. At the same time, is I no. I understand if you have pictures on your phone, because I'm pretty sure that's where she got the picture because of her phone. But to already have it framed on I don't know how I feel about that. She already got him on 1 week anniversary gift. So I guess for TV is cute and everything, and she went all out. I think it was like a Manscaped type thing. But like you already get him like gifts like that as a 1 week anniversary. And I thought I was crazy for getting my husband a card for our 1 month marriage anniversary. So I'm not that crazy. She got him a whole ass gift. I just got him a card that's saying, happy 1 month. And wow. In this moment, I'm just like, yeah. Yeah, Michaela, she look crazy. She look cray-cray. We gonna see she a little more cray-cray later on in the episode. But I'm just like, okay. And even Zach was like, I don't feel like I deserve any of this. And she said, you don't. And they laugh about it, but I'm just like, Michaela, you a little crazy. So Pastor Cal goes, sits down with Jose and Rachel, and they talk about their main issue is finances. And that's to be expected, with Rachel wanting to take trips to Europe on credit cards, and Jose wanting to only go to trips domestically, not internationally. But what else is new? We already discussed that. And Pastor Cal just said they were not to balance and compromise with that, and I agree. Then he asked them if they had sex, and they said they did have sex. And my question is, when was this? Because last episode, Rachel was just talking about them moving forward more intimately and She feels like that they might connect they might not connect when they have sex. Damn it. Okay, she don't think they're gonna connect when they have sex because he's taking a little bit more time than she would have to have sex. He's just like he got to get his boxes checked off first before they have sex. But then yet in this episode, the very next episode, they're telling Pastor Cal they had sex. So was those boxes checked off, Jose or not? Or are y'all lying to Pastor Cal and America that you guys had sex? Because I don't believe you guys had sex. We was just talking about last week how he's a little apprehensive and hesitant because he needs his box checked off. And then all of a sudden, this episode, you guys are saying you had sex? I wanted them to go more into depth with that, but I guess they're just going to move on. Hopefully, we find out later in the season if they really did or not, because I really don't feel like they did. All right. Rachel feels like it's too good to be true with her and Jose's relationship because it seems like everything's going well, and I feel like she's just waiting for the ball to drop. But Pastor Cal said that's good, and for her to ride the wave. Ride the wave, Rachel, because you know something probably won't come up eventually, and we're gonna comment about it. We move back on to Michaela and Zach to their apartment. The dogs meet up. I guess Michaela's dog, his name is Nova. His dog, his name is Bella. And Bella immediately barks at Nova when she sees the dog, but it seems like they get acquainted with each other and everything seems to go nice. And Zach and Michaela are just talking on the couch, and Zach says he's looking forward to their first fight because he was asking how does she react when they get into an argument. Like, does she walk away? And she's like, no, she doesn't walk away. She feels like that's disrespectful to the relationship pretty much. And she would never do that. This is just like the same answer she's giving his dad when he was asking her. And clearly we're going to see that's not the case. But we're going to wait till we get to that part. We move on to Johnny. He goes to Bao's place and he likes it. She's nice and clean and mentions like, oh, she could cook the food and he could wash the dishes, and I guess where the sink is positioned, it leads straight to look at the TV so he could be watching the game. Bao seems to cringe when he says that. I don't know why. Like, does men watching sports really bother you that much? Calm the fuck down, Bao. I'm trying to be on your side here. I'm really trying to be on your side here. But you just about to bring me back to the first or second episode when you made a big deal about him giving you jerseys for the wedding gift. Calm the fuck down. We move on to Bao going to Johnny's house. And she's like, oh, you have a lot of yellow accents, and mentions, oh, even your Clorox wipes top is yellow. I just think that was coincidental. I don't think that was intentional, Bao. And Johnny, if it was intentional, oh, you're kind of weird. But I don't think that was intentional. But the fact that she mentioned that, I'm just like, okay, sure, okay. And we get to his closet. Bao kind of clowns him about all the same colored shirts he have, like that are the exact same color lined up. He's talking about, oh, he got it on sale. And it's no, because when you guys was at the gift shop, when you was at the gift shop with Jose, Johnny, you look like you bought the same exact shirt you got in your closet right now. It's not on sale. You just one of those people who wear the same damn clothes every day. We think you wear the same outfit every day, which is the same outfit, but technically it's a different outfit because it's not the same exact garment you wore yesterday, but it's the same thing to us. I knew somebody like that too in elementary school. Wore the same outfit every day of the whole school year. It was a yellow collared shirt and khaki pants. What made it more weird was his little brother. I think I was in 4th or 5th grade at this point. What made it worse and even more weirder was he had a little brother at the same school, like a couple grades younger than him, who wore the same exact outfit as him. Yellow collar shirt and khaki pants. Ramon. That was his name. That was just so weird, because Ramon, that's who Johnny is. That's weird. We're going to move on. They play with the lightsabers. That was a cute little scene. We move on to Pastor Cal meeting with Brett and Ryan. Ryan likes country and outdoor activities, but Brett isn't down with that lifestyle. And he's just going to have to kind of bring her out her comfort zone a little bit, which he has been doing. And she's been down for the most part. But just know, Ryan, she's not going to do hunting. Okay, cool, whatever. We get to the intimacy. Ryan mentions that they haven't had sex yet. And then Pastor Cal asks, are they happy where they're at intimately at this point? Brett is happy. Ryan kind of sugarcoats it, but for the most part, he's not. Ryan wanna fuck. Okay, we already established that when they was getting couples massages at the honeymoon. He wanna fuck. Okay, and Brett's not there yet. And Ryan said he's taking it slow. He's willing to take it slow. Brett didn't know how to feel about it from her facial reaction. She was kind of like, I hope so. But Brett says that she has a crush on Ryan. She blushes. I guess Ryan kind of feels a little good about that. I guess Pastor Cal asks Ryan about love. And we get to the point where he just says he likes Brett, but he doesn't love her yet, which is understandable. Brett seems like she was triggered by that a little bit, but I'm just like, Brett, it's only been like 7, 8 days. Okay. You said you had a crush on him, so you didn't even say you loved him yet. So I hope that was just producers just trying to make it seem like it was something it wasn't. But if she was triggered by it, Brett, it's been 7, 8 days. Like, relax, chillax. He said he likes you, so that's a plus. You get in there. Okay? You get in there. You say you have a crush on him, so you guys just working things out. He probably not gonna say he love you till y'all fuck, to be honest though. Sorry, but that's probably what's going. You know, I know it don't sound right, but he seems like the type of person who will probably finally say, all right, I love you after y'all have sex. That's just my opinion. We move on to Zach. And the next morning, I think it was like 7 something in the morning, and we see him leaving in the morning with the dog without Michaela. Michaela gets up. She's walking around the house like, Zach? He ain't there. She gets like, what is it, disinfectant wipes and something like, she has 2 things in her hand, okay? She has 2 things in her hand. She goes to the dining room table. It looks like she's calm. She's regular, right? She's gonna just put the stuff on the table. She's putting it on the table. All of a sudden, and then she just like walks. I'm like, what the hell? I mean, I saw it from the previews last week, but I'm just like, Michaela, what is this? What we doing, girl? What is this? Why you acting like this? Then you just see her with 2 big bags walking out the whole apartment. I'm like, is she leaving with her stuff? Just because she didn't see Zach and, he walked out on her? Okay. Granted, all right, you don't know where he's at and he walked out. But I'm pretty sure his stuff is still in the house, right? Okay. And I'm pretty sure at this point you have his phone number since y'all been FaceTiming and stuff since he was in Florida and you was in Houston because he had COVID. You couldn't have called him right then and there to be like, where you at? But she just got her stuff and leave. Michaela. No, that's you category 2, 3 at that point, and that ain't cool. That is not cool. We move on to Pastor because we're gonna get back to them in a couple scenes away. We get a Pastor Cal meeting up with Gil and Mirla, and as soon as Pastor Cal walks in, Mirla's just like, oh, this, because he was like, oh, who's this to the dog, and Gil was like, oh, it's Hype. Mirla tells Pastor Cal, oh, this is the dog that I didn't want, and I told you I didn't want that, but you didn't listen to me. Now, because it's Mirla, I just be like, Mirla, shut up. Talk too damn much. Beggars can't be choosers. But then again, knowing how these experts be playing games, yes, you should have confronted him at some point. I don't know if that was the right time to do it, but yes, Pascal, Dr. Viviana, and Dr. Pepper, what y'all doing? She told y'all she didn't want no man with no dog. She don't want dogs. She don't like dogs. She told y'all that. And she confirmed she told you that. And you still gave her somebody with a dog. So yes, why did you guys do that? Why? For why? For qué? For what reason? Because I guess they feel like she can look over the dog issue situation and still be with Gil because he's a good person for her, or in their head, or in their eyes, he's the perfect person for her. Now, we could have told you that. We could have told you that from the moment she even sat down with her people to tell them she was going to murder at first sight. They was just like, oh, how's the guy gonna feel that you're like high maintenance? So I already no. Yes, Marilyn. Yes, that's right. Good. Confront them. Ask them why. Of course, it's Pastor Cal didn't, respond to that. He just ignored her. And I just hope she gets confirmation and lets us know one day in a tell-all YouTube post about what they done told her of why they set her up for the drama. Really, that's all it is. But he sits down and talks with them. They talk about her finances and her shopping. And Gil's like, I'm pretty sure her closet's worth like 70,000. And she's like, no, it's not 7,000. But then when Pastor Cal asks her, okay, how much Louis Vuitton shoes you got in there or red bottoms you got, she's just like, she doesn't even know. And he's like, okay, then I could agree with Gil. But in my head, I'm like, 70,000, that's all you reaching for, Gil? I would have said at least 100K. At least 100K. Anywho, at least 100K. But we get to the intimacy. Because at this point, I'm tired of talking about Mila's high maintenance. We all know this at this point. So what we going to do with that, Gil? Like, well, not we. It's really Gil. He's the one married to her. But what are you going to do, Gil, at this point? What we going to do? That's your wife. You going to stick beside her like the doctor feel? Okay. You going to stick beside her. Anywho, we get to the intimacy. And Gil said their intimacy is like a low-budget film. What does that even mean? I was with Pastor Cal. What? No, don't. What? Gil, well, it may be because Gil already talking about chocolate chip cookies and flowers already seem like foreplay to him. So, okay, he wants to say low budget film. That's fine. Like, are you so trying? My question to Gil is, are you so much trying to not seem as high maintenance or trying to make Mirla seem so high maintenance that you kind of downplay yourself and downplay everything, talking about, oh, I could do with better, lower than this standard, like with the apartment situation. Gil, you do a little too much talking and you starting to show your ass. And that's not good because I do not like Mirla and you making me side with Mirla. And this is a problem. That is the problem. Okay? That is a problem that I'm looking at Mirla like, I kind of see your point there. To the point I'm looking at you, Gil, like, bro, you're doing a little too much. Come on. I was rooting for you to all these 6 episodes, and this is the 7th episode, and now I'm kind of like having a question mark with your ass. Especially now that we found out you possibly may be one of those people that is black but want to specify that you're Colombian, not black. Okay, but that's another conversation for another day. So they talk about the intimacy. He says it's a low budget film, and Dr. Cal asks, not Dr. Cal, but Pastor Cal asks, is the sex going to be an issue? Like, do they want to have sex? Gil says flat out, yes. Miller says eventually, yes. And Gil's like, the sex is not really the issue. It's just the kissing part because they still have not kissed. They've only kissed on the cheek or like cheek kissed. And Miller feels like she's been pressured. She's not ready yet. And I could kind of understand that, but at the same time, once again, it's Mirla, so I think she's just doing it just to play hard to get at this point. And Gil is just like, if we don't kiss by the end of the 2 months, I want to ask for a divorce. And at one point, I'm just like, so that's kind of like a guy's thing. I'm going to ask for a divorce if we don't fuck. That's probably what Ryan probably thinking in his head, low key. He's not saying it, but that's probably what Ryan's thinking low key. Like, if me and Brett don't fuck by these 2 months, man, probably telling his boys that I might have to just cut it because I ain't trying to stay longer than 2 months if I don't know how that thing work out on this thing, the thing. Okay. And even Pastor Cal was like, wow. And I'm just like, I feel like it would be other reasons why you would want a divorce by 2 months, Gil, not just the kissing. Because if she was perfect and didn't want to kiss, I feel like you would be okay with that. But I think that you're just using that as an excuse. But at the same time, this is Mirla we're talking about. And she just seems like she's just being more difficult than she needs to be. Because she's talking about by the 3rd date, she don't kiss until like the 3rd date. And by now, I'm pretty sure they had more than like 3 official dates. So she still hasn't kissed them yet. And it's been a week. And I feel like she's just sticking behind just to stick behind, like pulling away, but not at the same time because they talk about they be touching and feeling. But I feel like she's just doing that for show Because even Pascal asked, do you guys do this off camera? They said yes. I don't believe it's true. I believe after the camera's gone, she's just like, and scene, okay, you sleep on that side, I'll sleep on this side until the cameras come back in the morning, and then we could act like we was really snuggled up with each other in bed, laying down. But I don't know how that's gonna go. Good luck to them. We get to Zach and Michaela. This is, I guess, the climax of the episode. Pretty much, Zach and Michaela, they're waiting for Pastor Cow to come through. She's tense. Zach's asking her what's wrong. She's like, nothing's wrong. She's being dismissive. But then she goes into saying, okay, here's what's wrong. I want to sleep. I woke up. You was not next to me. And then I come outside. You're not in the house. And then you just left. And you didn't tell that. You didn't communicate that with me. And he's just trying to explain himself. But I feel like Zach stutters a lot to the point where it sounds like he's lying, but he's probably telling the truth, because I've just noticed that throughout the past 7 episodes when he's talking, especially with Michaela or talking with her sisters. When he's nervous, he kind of stutters and sounds unsure of himself, but he's probably telling the truth. So his reasoning was he was putting his dog to sleep in the other room, but then he ended up falling asleep with him on the bed. Then in the morning, he had to go take the dog to daycare, and so he just left. And someone on Twitter made a very good point where it's just like he probably still has the single minded mentality, like, okay, I'm just gonna get up, do what I gotta do, without remembering, hey, I'm married now. Let me just let my wife know real quick, hey, I'm gonna go bring Bella to daycare. Michaela wasn't having all that. She's just like, that's not true. And she's just like, she just got up and left. And he's just like, so wait, that's the reason you just got all your stuff and left? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, it's funny because we just had this conversation yesterday and you said you wasn't the type of person to walk away. And she's like, oh, but you never came back. He's like, what are you talking about? I came back at like 9:15. I left at like 7, came back at 9:15. I came like 2 hours later. And she's just like, you a damn lie. And he's just like, I'm not even going to have this conversation with you anymore because obviously is not resolving. She's like, there's no resolution. We're not resolving nothing. He's like, no. And Pastor Cow knocked or rang the doorbell at the perfect time, because I feel like at that point in time, Michaela was 2 seconds away from murdering Zach's ass. So Pastor Cow came at the right time. He sees the tension. They're sitting on both opposite ends of the couch, and Pastor Cow was asking like, what's going on? They said they got into an argument, and they explained it to him. And pretty much Pastor Cow was like, welcome to marriage. Hello. Welcome to marriage. In this case, in my opinion, yes, I get why Michaela's upset. Yes, Zach, you should have communicated with her. Hey, man, I'm sorry I fell asleep on the bed with Bella last night, but since it's the morning, she has daycare. I'm about to bring her to daycare, so I'll be back in a few hours or so. Yes, I can understand with Michaela with that. But at the same time, Michaela, you did a little too much for me. She says the reason why she's acting like that is because she has to be there for her stuff. Like, her guards is up. And Zach was just like, okay, we wasn't acting like this all these days, and now all of a sudden your guards is up. It's like, it's making me feel kind of weird. And she's like squinting at him like, really? You, what? And, like, I'm just like, I get Pastor Cow was trying to diffuse the situation and calm Michaela down and stuff like that, and telling Zach to scoot closer to her because she was saying ever since her father left, she has to be the one to like protect her heart and stuff, because that's like the only man that's like protected her all her life. So Zach was just like, let me be that for you. I can be that. And she's just like, no, you don't have to. And Pastor Guy was like, no, why are you telling him not to? He's trying to tell you, he's trying to support you, but you're not allowing him to support you. Let him support you. And even when Zach leaned in to try to give her a hug, she kind of moved away. She's like, no. But then Pastor Cow was just like, okay, why are you recoiling? Even though she tried to make it seem playful, but it wasn't playful at the same time. And she's just like, she wants him to touch her. And then Pastor Cow was just like, just let him be there for you. Let him hug up on you and stuff. That's what you really need. No, Pastor Cow, what she really needs is a therapist. She needs to go to anger management. She needs to go to therapy because she's still not over her father's death. She probably will never be over her father's death. But at the same time, her father not being in her life is taking such a toll on her to the point that it's leaking into the relationship and making her treat Zach like shit and just overreact for the simplest things, especially when you just know somebody for 7 days. But then again, she did say she's possessive, and I have to remember she did put a picture of her and him already on her table at her house uh, before it was even 7 days. She crazy. She crazy. I understand she's going through a lot of emotional stuff because she doesn't have her dad. I get that, but she crazy. That does not deflect the purpose. That does not reflect the fact that she's crazy. She's crazy. But I guess Michaela stopped pushing Zach away. She cried on his shoulder, and that's where it ends with them. And I'm just like, producers, you saved Zach from being killed, boy, because that he was 2 seconds from her just probably getting a knife and just slicing his neck up. No shade, no shade, but ooh, Zach, I'm gonna be praying for you tonight, boy. Anyway, we move on finally to Pastor Cal meeting with Bao and Johnny. They talk about their disagreements thus far, and Bao just, when we get to the intimacy question, Bao just says that she feel like she's been getting rejected because she feels like she's initiating a lot of the intimacy and Johnny's not initiating it back. Johnny says he has been initiating the intimacy, but then Pastor Cal stops him and is just like, no, Johnny, you can't, you saying that is not going to stop her from feeling like you don't initiate it. And he's like, if you don't like her or something or not attracted to her, you should say it now so we can get through it and move on. So then they do this long dramatic pause. Of course, they're going to go on commercial. Then they get back and Johnny just says, when Bao acts giddy, she gets giddy and excited. She acts like a little kid. And that's a turn off for him. And Bao feels hurt. She feels rejected. You can clearly see the hurt on her face. And I would too. I'm like, dang, like, you're not attracted to me? And she's just like, I don't, thank you for telling me, but it doesn't make me feel good that I'm looked to you as a child when I'm your wife. And she says she doesn't, no, it's Pastor Cal who says, I'm sorry, I'm over my words. I'm stumbling over my words. But Pastor Cal says, no, you don't have to change who you are for him because it's Johnny the one with the issue. So then he turns to Johnny, says, Johnny, what I'm going to have you do, challenge yourself to be giddy with Bao. And I agree. I think that's a very good advice because at this point, you in it for the next 2 months, homie. So you're going to have to figure out what about her being giddy turns you off. No, you know what it is? It's the fact that she's shy and quirky and she just kind of like giggles when he kisses her and stuff. So he's used to females probably pouncing on him because he likes the female to be all over him rather than him being all over her. So he probably is giddy when other girls hop on him because he's just like, oh yes, she likes me. But the fact that he's the one who has to probably get her out of her shell a little bit since she's like shy and quirky, it probably turns him off because he's not used to having to be the one to probably get her wet because he's probably used to, sorry to be vulgar, but he's probably used to females getting him hard, his dick hard and all that stuff. To be, come on, we all grown adults are, I think. But so the fact that she's probably someone that's not as open as his previous females who's just all over on top of him and always giving him the validation that he needs and that he probably has to give her the validation that she needs, it's different for him, so it turns him off. You've seen in the Unfiltered, he talking about he felt like he was kissing his little sister or a sister. So now the fact that it's kind of like he has to put in more work than he usually does, it probably turns him off. Well, sorry, Johnny, welcome to marriage. Hello, sorry. Marriages has its ups and downs. You learn the person. It's only been 7 days. You're putting too much strain on yourself to be perfect right now. Just go with the flow, as he told Rachel, and just be giddy with her. I don't know. Maybe you need to just be more aggressive. Like you feel like she's too giddy. Would you rather her be nitpicky about a freaking electric stove in an apartment she's not even paying for? That's the real question for you, Johnny. Because that's where it ends, guys. That's where it ends. But Johnny, I feel like that's a stupid thing to. If you're unattracted, you're unattracted. I can't tell you what to be attracted to, what not to be attracted to. But you was attracted to her little ass that she don't have. Talking about all that ass when she don't got no ass. I'm gonna end it here. That's where it is anyway. We're gonna see what happens next week. Can I think of anything real quick? No, I'm just gonna wait till next week. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I gotta go to sleep. This is ridiculous. I gotta go to sleep. Bye, guys.